Senator Ted Cruz is getting interviewed by Tucker Carlson, lengthy 2-hour interview. They touched on so many different topics, but then obviously, because of what's happening geopolitically right now, the issue of a potential regime change war with Iran came up. So at that point, Tucker Carlson just wanted some information from Ted Cruz about, there's this narrative that Iran has tried to assassinate the president. And I just want to know more about that. Like, what's the evidence? Has anyone been arrested? And honestly, my favorite part about all of this is just watching Senator Cruz go from being so confident, like unearned confidence, to just squirming like crazy. So let's watch.
What is true is Iran is trying to assassinate Donald J. Trump, and they have hired hitmen. Now, you pointed out...
No, he said that they have tried twice to kill him, and I don't know that, I don't have any evidence that's true, but I sort of wonder if that is true, why aren't we at war with them already?
You rightly pointed out there's no evidence that this clown in Butler, Pennsylvania, who shot the president was working for the Iranians. I don't think he was. There's no evidence of that. But what is true, and what your newsletter didn't acknowledge, is it true or false that Iran is currently trying to murder Donald J. Trump and has paid hitmen to do so?
Well, that's the question, and I don't know the Butler, Pennsylvania thing.
Butler, Pennsylvania.
Let's just put that aside. I don't know.
So Netanyahu misspoke when he said those two assassinations were because of Iran. But what he was saying that is right is they're actively trying to murder Donald J. Trump.
Is there? Okay, so you're aware of a plot to kill Trump?
Yes, that Iran is paying for. And by the way,
when?
It has been over the last, I'd say, 18 months to 2 years.
In the United States?
In the United States, yes. And let me point out.
Has anyone been arrested?
For the Trump attempted assassination, no.
If there's a plot to kill Trump by the Iranians,
okay, so you dispute that the Iranians are trying to kill Trump?
Of course. I mean, that's the most important question. The Prime Minister of Israel just said there have been 2 assassination attempts against Donald Trump by the Iranians. And I think it's a very fair question, maybe you disagree, to ask, what are you talking about?
Okay, and I agree with you that he misspoke.
Okay, genuinely, because I might be missing it. And if I'm missing it, I want to make sure I give the appropriate people credit. Has anyone else, other than people like us at TYT and maybe a few other independent people in independent media, has anyone else asked for evidence of these claims that Iran, is plotting to assassinate President Donald Trump? Whether they're on the left or the right in media, whether we're talking about politicians, by the way, because I remember the first allegation that Iran was plotting to assassinate Trump came in the context of the Biden administration. And then just recently, you have the most dishonest person imaginable in terms of being a leader of a country, Benjamin Netanyahu. I mean, the guy's been lying to us for literally decades. He's been telling us that Iran is about to have nuclear weapons for 33 years. That guy lies. So right now, he wants the United States to carry out offensive strikes against Iran. Not only do they want us to give them these insane bunker buster bombs that cost $3.5 million each, that are like 30,000 pounds, okay? Homeboy wants us to actually engage in a regime change war. The nuclear stuff, that's just the cover. That's just the cover. This is all about overthrowing the Ayatollah with really no plan in place, no idea of what comes after. So in order to egg people like Trump on, the Iranians, they're planning to assassinate you. Okay, can we see the evidence? Can we see the evidence? And get a load of Senator Cruz. Get a load of Senator Cruz. Once he's backed into a corner, he provides cover for Netanyahu. Well, Netanyahu, he misspoke. He misspoke. Did he? Did he misspeak? Doubt it. I doubt he misspoke. I really hope that Trump isn't as buffoonish as I think he is, and he doesn't fall for these ridiculous lies from Netanyahu. We're gonna have to wait and see, but he has not inspired much confidence. He really hasn't. And so we'll wait and see. But I am so sick of these insane, outlandish claims being made by people in positions of power, by foreign leaders, without providing even a shred of evidence to back it up. And what Tucker Carlson was trying to get at here, and I thought it was a masterful strategy. If you listen to the entirety of that portion of their conversation, he was basically trying to make a point about how, okay, so let me get this straight. There have been assassination plots against the United States president by a foreign country, a foreign government. And we're not at all interested in going to war with them over that. But we want to do a regime change war in Iran over nuclear weapons that don't exist. That was the bottom line. And Ted Cruz realized it. And I think he realized how laughable that idea is. That we would be more concerned about a prime minister who's been lying to us for 33 years about Iran having nuclear weapons or coming close to having nuclear weapons. We'd be more concerned about that, carrying out a potential regime change war. By the way, Ted Cruz wants that regime change war in Iran. He does. So he is in favor of military engagement in a regime change war in Iran to appease Israel. But if he genuinely thought, if he really believed that Iran was plotting to assassinate Donald Trump, wouldn't he want to go to war with Iran over that? Wouldn't he want to do something about that? I thought that was so well done by Tucker Carlson. I don't believe that there's any evidence of Iran wanting to or having any plans or plots to assassinate the president of the United States. I could be wrong, but I'm not just going to believe what government officials tell me. I'll never believe a word that comes out of Netanyahu's mouth, ever, ever, ever. I need to see the receipts. And quite frankly, we haven't seen any receipts. So there you have it. That was so well done. I highly recommend you guys check out the whole conversation. You know, people, of course, look, I get it. In America, our political system, our politicians, people in positions of power, they do cynical, gross things all the time. So I get it. You know, it's hard to ever believe that someone who seemed like so dug into his neoconservative ideology has changed. I'm starting to believe that on those foreign policy issues, Tucker Carlson really has changed. He talks about his remorse for being a neocon all the time. And at some point, you just have to believe him. There's been enough time, enough years of him questioning US foreign policy for me to actually believe him when he says he's concerned about getting engaged in these wars that we shouldn't be engaged in while our country falls apart.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.